I think that Harris, she's had a difficult road behind her. And what she's done historically is try to balance multiple wings of the left. And I think her and Joe Biden did not do that effectively because the left is very fractured on regions. Okay. So the Middle East, the left is completely torn in half on that, right? You have the Israel-Gaza conflict. There's many pro-Israel on the left, and there's many pro-Gaza on the left. That has caused huge issues in her voter base with Muslims. A lot of Muslims went to the right because of how upset they were with Biden initially saying, you know, hey, we need to hold Israel back. We need to slow Israel down. And then we support, pro-Muslim protests. And then scaling all the way back on that, saying we have unquestioned, unwavered support in Israel. So I think when Biden was the nominee, it was complicated. When Kamala was the nominee, it got even more complicated. And I think she has identified her path as pro-Israel in the Middle East. I think as that conflict gets more complicated in the Middle East, she runs the risk of isolating people on the far left. She has a fine line to walk. I don't see Israel really trying to overthrow governments. I got to tell you, I think that they're trying to overthrow specific groups, namely Hezbollah and Hamas, which they've been on the radar for. They've been on the hit list for Israel for what, 2-3 decades, right? Like these are not new groups to Israel, and they've only gained power in the region, etc. So I think this is more tactical. I don't see it blowing up past like a local regional conflict. Iran is interesting because Iran doesn't want that one-to-one conflict with Israel, I don't believe, but Iran is a very good manipulator of regional groups. So I think Israel is more head-on than Iran in their combats. I don't know where to go with this, because I could talk all day about geopolitics, but I think Harris has a complicated situation where she's going to have to pick a path and commit to it. And my bet is, if you were to ask me what I actually think will happen, I think she picks the path of Israel. I think she isolates Muslim voters when they go right. And I think you've already seen that in Michigan. And I think with some of the anti-LGBTQ sentiment that's popped up on the Muslim side, especially in Michigan, where they're banning LGBTQ flags, I think the left is starting to be okay with losing the Muslim minority of voters and having them go to the right.